How's it going? So right now, what we're really focusing on is getting a ton of computers shipped and trying to get as much parts in as possible given the component shortage. So what we wanted to do is kind of have you guys walk around with us and see kind of behind the scenes of what we're working on a day-to-day basis and give you guys some info on kind of like what exactly is going on here. Yeah, so we may walk around with Karina, look at some different like departments, make notes on areas that need to improve, different things like that. Be able to do that, walking around the build area, making sure where the customer service training plans getting set up right, double checking with a few different suppliers on different things, determining some GPUs for the custom tabs, what else we can do to speed up the build. There's a ton of different stuff like that. So we're gonna start from the beginning. First thing I need to do is I got this one order. On rare occasions, I'll have specific orders that I have to double check on and make sure that they ship out. So I'm gonna double check that real quick and talk to whoever I need to regarding it. Okay, yeah, so this is a 2060 system that definitely can ship out and should have shipped out. So let me see where it's at in the process. Got done a few days ago, but it hasn't gotten moved to shipped. So I'm gonna go check with the build manager to see exactly why not. I had just have one build that I needed to make sure. It looks like Haley did it. 127, look it up on Monday. When I talked to you, it was a Magma. The other day I talked to you about it, it looks like Haley did it 7 days ago, but it's not marked as shipped or anything.
Do you need me to check in with the warehouse?
Just double check and make sure that that's actually gonna go out today.
Yeah, of course.
So just write that down, okay? I'll double check it later today with you in my calendar.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll add it to my calendar.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm gonna mark this in my calendar to double check that later, and then we'll be following back on that just to make sure that that build officially goes out. One of the next things we're gonna be doing, so I've got to message a few of our different distributors right now. We have like a dedicated inventory guy that handles all like the general inventory, but with how important graphics cards are right now, I've built up some good relationships with these distributors, so I'm usually the one that reaches out to them. So every day I will send an email out to every single one of our distributors, just following up to see if they have any GPU allocation. Kind of works the best to try to just get us the most we can. And we really, we'll right now buy anything they have and everything. Follow up with them consistently to see. Like right now I've got this RTX 2060 order. It's a pretty big order that I'm working with one guy on right now and double checking what he has to say. All right, so just reached out to everyone that was there. Gonna put a follow-up in my calendar to see who responded later today. It's usually what I do. I'll message them in the morning, ask for specific allocation, see if they have any other allocation that's not specifically what I asked. Then I put multiple follow-up events throughout my calendar throughout the day to see if they respond. That's kind of the plan there, just to try to grab as much as we can. One of the suppliers just messaged me, said there's some balance that we have due and he's trying to make me pay in Dogecoin. But I gotta give him a call and see what he actually wants. He actually messaged me, he's like Dogecoin question mark? I'll make a payment. You had mentioned there was some invoice. Can you just send me an email with the invoice and the amount that's due, and I can get you paid? Is it that same amount we talked about before? All right, the next thing I gotta do, I've got to contact, there's one of the shipping companies, when they were backing up, the truck driver backed up into our bay door at speed. I gotta make sure that they paid the invoice to the company that came and fixed the door so the company doesn't keep messaging me. So that's what I gotta look into right now. All right, cool. I just messaged them. We'll see if they respond later on. Got to double check now. We're going to do a walk around the build area soon. Also going to, already double checked with this. Let me move this to tomorrow. Talk to the account already. Double checking our numbers right now too, because right now we need to get, we hired just a substantial number of new builders. We're working on getting them up to the total builds per day they need to get to make sure that we're catching up on orders in the time frame we need that aligns well with the amount of like supply of GPUs we're get in. So I've been following with that consistently, even though we have the build manager whose job is kind of to monitor that all day and work on improving it. I do daily checkups with him though, and we have a meeting at the end of every day to see exactly where we're at progress-wise per builder and what we need to do to change it to make it where builders are building faster but still building like the quality builds that we need. So we're gonna go circle around in the build area, just kind of keep an eye on things, and at that same time we're also going to go and check on stuff with the leads, see where we're at so far with the progress today.
We're zoomed.
It doesn't even look like it's zoomed. We good? All right, now I'm just checking my calendar. We're gonna be going to meet with Chris, talking about making sure we're on track with market price build, GPU opt-out builds. All right, and then we're also going to double check like where all the builders are at and do a walk around the build area. Let's go. You guys know where Chris is? All right, well, I got to go over some stuff with Ivan, so thought I was getting. All right, so a couple things I want to go over with you. Number one, DOA parts, especially market price parts. Have you been pretty on top of those? I know you said yesterday you had some you had to ship out. Were those shipped back out?
Yeah, those should be shipped out.
Okay, so those are shipped out. That's fine. And then case reorder points. So I want to know where we're at on cases, and then also if we should increase those reorder points.
We should increase those reorder points because...
Increase those reorder points. If you want to double them, that's fine. If you need to, as high as you want to go on the reorder points, I'm honestly okay with. Up to however much you think you can fit in the back. That's the only thing like slowing us down.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank you. Carl, you know where Chris is? We'll just check out the quality control area. Yeah, so here's the quality control area where every build, once it gets done there, is physically inspected to make sure cable management's good, make sure all the specs are accurate, make sure everything's good, nothing's wrong. And then they run the stress test here, as you can see on this screen. Runs the stress test, make sure everything's updated, make sure the drivers are updated and everything's good to go. Then you have like the bags here, which include the user manual. If you bought Wi-Fi, it comes with that. It comes with the power cord. If your motherboard or anything comes with any other different like user manuals and stuff like that, that'll also be in here, and so that goes on top of every computer and gets shipped with the computer after it gets done with its stress test. Chris, I need you. Yeah. All right. Okay, so a couple things I had to check out with you. How are we looking on like the market price time frames, GPU opt-out time frames, especially for DIYs?
So DIY should be getting out as soon as possible.
Okay.
So every day I've been checking in with inventory and handing them a list of the DIYs that they need.
Okay, so you'll get them a list then at the beginning of the day, and then they'll be in charge of packing those and shipping. Asked a little bit earlier. How does everyone seem like they're doing today, though?
Everybody seems pretty productive. I haven't gotten a count for you yet. We're only like an hour and a half into the day. But we're making sure that all the builders have builds.
Are we staying like? Are there 2 extra builds at each station? Oh. Okay, so like for example, like there's 2 there. Looks like 2 there. Jay only has 1. Nico only has 1. So let's try to get those ones where they have a little bit more. So yeah, over there, it looks like they've got enough. So yeah, just keep an eye on it and then be super on top of inventory. I saw earlier that they were like kind of sitting, but it's pretty rare I see that. Usually they're pretty on top of it.
Yeah, inventory has improved greatly since I started.
Good. He just doesn't have it. Like, we need to find a different spot for Mac, and then we need to give that whole corner to him and just set him up with monitors. Yeah, so if you want to kind of try to like find a different spot to move him to, start thinking of that today.
We're getting Haley moved over there, and I think that will give Mac a place to like start building.
I see. Okay. And then, well, if you have, is Kevin right now just helping?
Yeah.
A bunch of different people. Okay. Seems like he's been doing good. So. Yeah. All right. That's the main stuff I have right now. Then I'll touch base with you then towards the end of the day. So then we know once we know like the specific numbers. So awesome. Sounds good. We'll touch base soon.
Thank you.
All right, just getting with that. Now I'm going to do a quick, and the next thing I'm going to do a quick double check of a lot of our, just some of our Facebook notifications. I pay attention a lot to our Facebook and the notifications because it keeps me, it lets me like see what like customers are posting, what they're asking, what their main questions are, what their issue areas are. It kind of keeps me still interacting with customers, which I need to then know where we need to focus on. So I pay a lot of attention to our Instagram. So right now I'm just going to go through and respond to different comments, see what people are saying, and get some ideas. Okay, I have 2 things to go over with you. Number 1, did you cancel SKU Labs? So you called them?
I emailed them.
And did they say yes?
Response.
Waiting for a response? No, it's not that crucial, as long as we emailed them. But yeah, I've had it on my calendar for like probably like 2 days and I keep pushing it over. But we're gonna walk around some different departments and we're gonna look for different things that like just overall should be better or should improve. I'm gonna have you write them down in your notebook and then you'll either assign it to like the specific lead. So if it's something in Chris's area, we can like assign it to him and then follow up with him on his plan, or you'll come up with a plan. We're gonna do that. So we might do that. Let's do it now. You're in the middle of anything? All right, so the main departments that we need to check on. Number 1, we're gonna walk around the build area. We'll double check some stuff with returns, double check some stuff with customer service. We'll check warehouse and the like pickers. So all 3 of those we're gonna do. It's not gonna be too long. We're gonna go through kind of quickly. Okay, we'll end with the build area. I think that'll be best. So make sure your notebook's open and we're getting into it. Kind of went to go for lunch. Are you just testing stuff to ship out?
I'm testing, yeah.
Okay,
and then
that's
anything,
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you do your thing. Where are we gonna put this? Because we shouldn't tear this down then. We should move this somewhere. I would 100% like to keep this thing. This is like the only one that's not supported by pieces of wood. So we could probably find somewhere in inventory to put it. Yeah, they were talking about needing another station, so they could put a computer there. Is this a half-eaten granola bar? No, it's unopened. I kind of wanted that. All right, call. What's the call queue at?
0.
Okay, cool. So there's no one waiting. Excellent. Yeah. Let me pull up the contact summary, like the agent summary. So pretty split.
Pretty split.
Yeah, pretty split. So we've only had, what, 26 calls today?
Yeah. Yes.
It's not bad.
Again.
Okay, and then the one thing I'm just gonna like touch on with you guys again, which I think Chris does, is just trying to make sure every builder has like 2 builds at their station, but I think you guys are moving pretty much as quick as you can right now.
Yeah.
So, any questions you have related here to see if there's anything we need to write down?
No, I have to come back here and kind of do some floor planning stuff.
I'm gonna take a look actually in the back here. Can you guys open the back door over there for it? Looks. Where's the rest of the boxes of 2060s? Okay, here we go. And then what were these? What are these? SSDs? Okay, I see on the side. And these are the 2060s. Okay, cool. Because we're gonna have another like 400, so we'll have to find a spot for them. She's like setting up the new system, and that'll have like, it'll be like bins, and it'll tell you like where everything's located. So once it is officially set up, it should be easier, but it's a little bit of a process of getting it set up. Sean, how are packages looking? Like, how many are there still a lot that need to be packed? Because I may move Corey over to inventory. You like bouncing around, Corey? Yeah. I'm gonna move you to inventory right now. I may have you do a couple DIYs. So what did you have? You just had a pallet there for them to put the PCs on? And so now it's like, so now is there a spot still, or where was the pallet at? I mean, because right here, so you're talking about like these PCs.
Yes, and as they're pushing more out, if they have urgent or replacements that they need to send and need to get out one day of.
What if we put them on this side? Because that's like right in the middle of like, when they're packing, like I don't like that area really.
They can find somewhere else, I just did not want to.
Why don't we do it here? Or we could, what if we, because that's gonna be too close, where people are gonna be setting it there.
Like we can find somewhere else, like maybe where they have all this nonsense.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the end of the shelf here is like, this is stuff, I mean, a lot of this stuff has just been here for way too long. Sometimes there's these small pallets that are like more narrow right there. Because they're not gonna have that many urgents in a day. We get this little like shrimp pallet and put that up against it. But yeah, we could use that because then you can just stack. I mean, they'll be able to fit it.
Can that go back by their desk?
Yeah, I think that would fit fine there. I think that would fit fine there. That wouldn't be as in the way as a full-size pallet. And again, I don't think they need one, but that should be fine.
I mean, it filled up pretty fast.
I think we're gonna pass on doing the build area today. I think we're gonna do that tomorrow because I've got a number of like things I need to do, and I know Chris, like there's a bunch of new people in there, so it's gonna be a little bit more less organized than it needs to be. And I already talked to Chris about being on top of it. There's no point for us to go look over it now while Chris is already in the process of like monitoring it and making sure it's good. So we'll double check on that though in the next couple days because it will need to be checked on. Right now, there's not that many builds that are waiting to get packed, which is good. So those are all shipping. Now we've got Corey over on inventory, which will make it where he's able to get more DIYs done and more builds to the builders. So that should be good. We need to somehow organize some of these cases. There's quite a lot of cases. Take a look at these. They're kind of all over the place right now. So like there's an open spot. Oh, that sounds fine. Then we'll talk to Ivana about doing that. I think that's the main thing for now then. Let me see if there's anything else I have to go over with you at this exact moment. Otherwise you're just working on Deere systems, right? That's all I have for you. You can proceed with your things. Is I'm gonna have like a number of things that I'm having Sean do. Then I'm gonna do some deep thinking on like what more I can do to speed up the builders. So we're gonna go dive into that. Now that we're back here, right now what I'm gonna do is I've got the web developer, I've got a number of things that I just mentioned over there that I think we got on video that I just mentioned over there that I need to have him do. So I'm going to put all of these things. We have like a certain, it's like the software we use for him to keep track of all his tasks and all the things I need to give him. So I'm gonna put all that stuff in there right now. And yeah, then that'll show him exactly what he needs to do. He's got a long list of things, so let's keep adding to it. I actually need to just notice a lot of those things are already in Asana, which is the software we use, so I need to text him and tell him like the top most important things that I need him to get done. So let's do that. First things, there's a few different builds that need to be listed as only available for market price. Right now, like some cards, it's like almost impossible to get unless it's a market price build. So I'm having, we created some styling to have it so it only allows market price for a few different builds. So I need to tell him to update that. It's one thing. All right, I need to add a market price crown to have him do that. Make the GPUs, there's a few different GPUs that right now it's almost impossible to get them. So I need to make a few different GPUs unavailable. That way there's not people ordering them when it's really just almost impossible to get it. All right, I just sent him that. I'm gonna see when he'll respond back to me and let me know the estimated time frame on when that'll be completed, and we'll go from there. All right, the next thing I need to do, I need to determine what GPUs on the custom tab will be marked as market price and what the price increase will be. So then I have to put all the styling in there. So right now, obviously, we want to make it where if people want to pay like the current really high market price and just get their build shipped immediately, they can. So we just kind of want to give people options to say, hey, you can buy it normally and the processing time just takes longer. It's really based on supply. Or if you want it immediately, you can pay like the increased market price right now and we'll just ship it immediately. We just pretty much buy like the standard rate that you can find it from different distributors and just ship it out immediately, because you can a lot of times pay that kind of like higher price or like a more of a scalper's price. And so if you want to pay that, we will offer that as an option and ship it out like immediately. All right, so right now I need to determine GPUs on the custom tab and what the price will be. So I'm gonna dive into that now. I just got done finishing a lot of the market price GPUs for the custom tab. Gonna get that over to the web developer, have him update that so then people can now choose to buy one or the other. Now my next task is I'm going to just kind of do some brainstorming on ways that I think we can speed the builders up and get them working faster, more efficiently, while still making sure the quality is where it needs to be. So I'm gonna brainstorm and just kind of dive into that now, see what I can come up with. Got a few different ideas. One thing that immediately comes to mind that I think we might try is like sometimes, I mean, whenever you're working on computers, like sometimes things cannot work as smoothly as you need to. You have to switch things around and stuff like that, and that takes a lot of time from a builder, and it really hinders the amount of builds that they can get completed in a day. So what we might do is we might actually put one dedicated person and just set him off to the side, and any builds that any like of the standard builders have issues with, rather than them spending hours trying to like diagnose it and figure out what's going on, get it repaired, get it stress tested, it'll go to a really advanced builder who is just like super experienced in like fixing those kind of issues, and he'll then focus on like resolving whatever's going on to allow that original person to just continue efficiently working on getting the most computers done. So he'll work on that, he'll work on stress testing. Then that same guy that's also gonna be working on fixing those PCs can also help quality control in case they get backed up or they really just need a little bit of assistance there. That way that he can work on both making sure any PCs that have little issues are diagnosed, fixed, and good to go, as well as then making sure quality control stays efficient and moving quickly and all builds are shipping out as fast as possible. So I think that's a smart idea. I think we'll get that set up pretty much immediately and see how it goes. I mean, if it works well, great. I think it could really help get more builds out with the same number of builders. If we need to pivot, we can always do that. But that's something that we'll probably spend some time today actually setting up and getting all situated. So hopefully this gives you a bit of info on kind of like what we're working on behind the scenes here, seeing kind of how we're trying to work our best to get everything done in the most efficient way possible and do everything we can on our end, even with the component shortage, to really just try to ship everything and improve the back end of our business. It's only about 1 o'clock, so we still have the majority of the workday ahead of us. That was just a little bit of the morning, and so still quite a lot of stuff to do today. I want to follow up with Chris, I'm going to do some additional kind of follow-ups with specific builders, see what's going on, see what's keeping some people a little bit slower, how we can speed things up even more. Going to be contacting more suppliers then today to continue to try to make sure we can get any stock in possible. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of info. Let us know what you'd like to see, different, what more you would like to see of, and we'll keep making videos and keep kind of showing you guys exactly what's going on. So thank you so much for everyone that's been waiting on your order. We're working definitely quite hard here to make sure that we get everything shipped as fast as possible. So much love.